Conservative anti-vaxxers are both hurt and confused by some of the comments that former President Donald Trump made last week. First with his event with Bill O'Reilly, and secondly, in an interview with Candace Owens, conservative pundit Candace Owens. So even though she was still giving him unnecessary praise during the interview, she still found a way afterwards, after his comments that are pro-vaccine for himself at least, she still found a way to try to finagle and tell her followers, well, it wasn't really what you thought. We'll get to that in a second, but first I wanna remind you guys of what he did say to her that sent her head into a spinning top.
The vaccine is one of the greatest achievements of mankind. And I came up with a vaccine, with 3 vaccines, all are very, very good. Came up with 3 of them in less than 9 months. It was supposed to take 5 to 12 years.
And yet more people have died under COVID this year, by the way, under Joe Biden, than under you. And more people took the vaccine this year. So people are questioning how.
Well, no, the vaccine worked, but some people aren't taking it. The ones that get very sick and go to the hospital are the ones that don't take the vaccine.
What? Said what? You guys all saw this last week, but you know what? As everyone saw it, both opponents of Trump and supporters of Candace Owens were like, wait, what? So she had to make sure that she cleared things up. Just so you guys understand what happened to Trump there in her interview, she can explain it to you. So she took to social media to explain it.
People, you oftentimes forget like how old Trump is. He comes from a generation. I've seen other people that are older have the exact same perspective. Like they came from a time before TV, before internet, before being able to conduct their independent research, and everything that they read in a newspaper that was pitched to them, like they believed that that was a reality. And one of those things was, this push for vaccines and believing that people were gonna die without vaccines. And so I believe that his support of the vaccine is genuine and it's not based in any corruption at all. I believe also that he only reads the mainstream media news. Believe it or not, I do not believe that Trump reads or partakes in any other news sources. I don't believe that Trump is on the internet or that he necessarily uses the web to try to find obscure websites. I think that he just relies on typical mainstream sources. So I don't think that there's anything evil going on there. I just wanted to say that.
So she did mention there, she doesn't think anything evil is going on. So it sounds like potentially supporters are like, he's gone evil. He's gone to the dark side. Darth Vader's invaded his soul and he wants to take a vaccine. I'm not sure if she's pushing back specifically on that, but she did mention evil. It's nothing evil going on there, but he's just an old man who doesn't know how to read.
Yeah.
Obscure websites, as she pointed out.
Yeah, I know why she's saying that. I don't know if you saw over the weekend, Alex Jones did a video saying that Trump is either ignorant or the most evil man alive for being pro-vaccine, because the vaccine actually makes the frogs gay, right? So that's why it's super evil. I don't know, that might be a different conspiracy theory, or it turns people into lizard people or into Rothschilds, I don't know, okay? But Alex Jones, but kidding aside about the different weirdo conspiracy theories, Alex Jones did say that. He said he would be the most evil man alive if he's not a completely ignorant jackass. And so that's the best case scenario in Alex Jones' mind now for Trump. That's why Candace Owens, people are saying Candace Owens versus Donald Trump, and of course I see why, and and there is a little bit of that. But mainly she's defending Trump here against the Alex Jones types. She's like, no, guys. He's an old senile jackass. He doesn't know you're supposed to go to obscure websites, find conspiracy theories, and punch yourself in the face. We all know that that's the thing to do. And since he's not going down the rabbit hole of our insanity, poor guy, he's still getting news from some things that might be true. We haven't been able to brainwash him enough yet. How is this? It's amazing. Trump was basically the establishment's Frankenstein. They're like, sure, we'll get ratings. And the big clown man says he's gonna give us tax cuts. Hey, look, he did give us tax cuts. And we're all having fun. Oops, he turned into a fascist. And now we're all in trouble, right? And now, this is Trump's Frankenstein. Alex Jones, Candace Owens, etc., now turning and going, you're not crazy enough, Frankenstein. Frankenstein 2.0 says smash. Says Frankenstein 1.0 is evil because he once said something that is true, which in the right wing these days is enough to get you canceled. They're having a debate about canceling Donald Trump because he once said something that is true. That is unbelievable.
I'm just trying to figure out when the left wing is going to stop with this cancel culture. They're just a bunch of snowflakes. Now, by the way, it's caused this entire fallout, as you mentioned, among conservatives within the party for support versus non-support for Trump and his sanity. I was going to say craziness. That's usually the case. Former Trump advisor Peter Navarro, if you're not familiar with him, you'll remember him soon. He also went on Newsmax to talk to Eric Bolling, and Eric Bolling was pointing out how what Candace Owens said about Trump was so disrespectful because he's an old guy and you don't want to say all those things about it. It's disrespectful. So to that, Peter Navarro then responded because he's totally team Trump. He said, well, she does like to go viral. Come on, she's a personality, Eric. And she's gonna get some news. After all, we're talking about it. But I'm not going to Candace Owens for medical advice. Oh man, divisions. But also that wasn't enough for Navarro. He also said, all I can say about working for Trump for 4 years that the man is the smartest guy I know.
That's the saddest thing I've ever heard. I love hearing that.
He went through a very hard time. And when he had the virus, I remember those days at Walter Reed. I don't know if those two sentences connect, like he's the smartest guy he knows and therefore he had the virus and therefore he was at Walter Reed. So is it he's the smartest guy, that's why he had the virus, that's why he's, I'm not sure the connection.
No,
he's an amazing person.
Well, it's funny, Jared, because they're all trying to take the edge off one by one while not off the lunatic base, which is now the entirety of the right wing and Republican voters. And if you claim you're a reasonable Republican, whatever. I don't care about your claims. There's a 98% chance you're a lunatic. Okay, so moving on. Yeah. So in this case, the reason Navarro's saying that, remember he was at Walter Reed, is because he had COVID and those are terrifying times. He's saying like maybe he lost a step when he went to the hospital. Yeah, I mean, he's a genius, but if he's saying things you don't agree with, remember he had a tough time with COVID. And maybe that's, or not necessarily lost a step, but since it affected him so much, he's afraid and that's understandable. So it's like a way of making an excuse for him, but at the same time saying, now remember, of course I'm tough. And since I didn't go through those terrifying times, I mean, because all the tough men, of course, don't believe in science. And this is a random weird weakness of Donald Trump that he believed in science once in his life.
It might be this admission, because I've said that, may be a kernel of truth if I'm right. Trump cares about this because the little bit of credit he got for the vaccine development from Biden. Give him one piece of credit and the man is like, he'll be all over you. Like, oh, that's great, you know, vaccines work. Damn it, I can't believe you guys haven't been doing it. Mandates for everybody, that's the next step. So that was the first thing. But then also with that is, these folks they never like Donald Trump. Their backing is making sure they prop him up and continue to keep him happy with them. And then whenever he's gone, they try and take this big void and become that next powerful guy. So really fast, also Marjorie Taylor Greene jumped in on this. There's so many crazies here. I'm gonna go through this really fast. So she tweeted about how she just got off the phone with my favorite president of all time, Donald J. Trump. We discussed many issues. People, races in 22, as well as vaccines and mandates. We discussed COVID-19, how awful the virus from China has been, and how horribly it's been politicized. I want you to remember that last sentence when I come back to this. There's 2 more tweets. I have President Trump's permission to tell you all that he is 100% against the mandates, but he still encourages everyone to get the vaccine and booster. That is his position. Apparently he can't say that, he needs you. He also said that if he was president, he would never mandate the vaccines and no one would be fired. And lastly, for everyone that criticizes President Trump about when COVID started with shouldas, couldas, and wouldas, I think he and his administration did the best they could. The virus was brand new and we'd never seen anything like it. Biden deserves the criticism. He has no excuses. Biden deserves the criticism. He has no excuses. Rewind, back up to that first tweet, last sentence. We discussed COVID-19, how off the virus was from China has been, politicizing it, and how horribly it's been politicized. But it's Biden's fault and he should be blamed for it. Which one is it? It's 3 tweets. These aren't tweets from 2019 and then another tweet from 2021 where she forgot what the hell she said. It's in the same thread.
Look, if it was a friend of mine and a fellow progressive, let's pick a random one, Sam Cedar from Majority Report, and he said things that were contradictory, I'd be like, I love you, brother, but those two things are contradictory, right? The right wing just literally doesn't see it. They don't think it's contradictory. They think we're allowed to politicize anything, you're not allowed to politicize anything, right? Yeah. That's it, and they genuinely believe that. They don't think that's hypocritical. What, I have power over you, you should never have power over me, even if you're right, I don't care. So we can't communicate with one another. But I love this story because it's a clout chasing tornado. Like everybody's chasing clout and it's swirling and swirling. I agree with Trump, I agree with Candace Owens, I agree with the lunatics, I agree with Alex Jones. I disagree slightly, chase the clout, and this giant twister comes out of it where they're all grabbing for clout desperately and trying to figure out which way is the wind blowing, funny enough, among the right-wing base. Yes, at the same time they're trying to grab some of Trump's clout, and at the same time replace him. Yeah. You're 100% right, JR. Yeah. The #1 guy who does that is Tucker Carlson, but Candace Owens, and all of them are angling for, now I like him enough, give me your audience, give me your viewers, give me your fans, give me your loyalists. I like him, but I'm a little better than him. I'm a little crazier. Sometimes he reads newspapers. So that's the right wing in America today.
Keep it real. Peter Navarro said it. He's talking about Candace Owens. She likes to go viral. Come on, she's a personality. It's just saying she doesn't. It's saying what a bunch of lefties and liberals say about her, except after people say that, they go, "Oh, how dare you hate on her like that?" He just called her a grifter, straight up.
Yep. I love it when they fight. Thanks for watching the Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR, so those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.